If it's already started, I apologize. I need to wait to see if when the feed comes up. Okay, looks like it has. I apologize. Good morning, everybody. We are now on our last day of trading, for the week at least. Oh, nice. Just saw your post, your message, Freddy 250. Ryan just signed up for your signal. If you signed up for my personal signal under Ryan Analyst, then yeah, the max drawdown will be 7%. It's 7% for all pairs, so all the trades that I'm in. So if I'm in three pairs with multiple trades on each, and I hit 7% drawdown, yeah, I'll cut the all the trades. All right, so I'm going to go over the trades that hit profit last night and the ones that we're currently in first, and then we'll get into a few other things. Okay, so actually, I guess let's talk about the trades that I'm in now first. No, sorry, I keep changing my mind. All right, so the ones I took last night. So as you guys know, I took I finally took some trades on the MAM, on the recovery. That's what we're calling it now, the recovery MAM. And first positions were in on the pound US dollar. Actually, the first position was in on the. Actually, I think I put them in at the same time. But I had two trades in that were executed near the same time. The first one was the NZD JPY. Now I entered after. Where's my marker? Okay, just making sure it's working. I entered after this push down. New low down there. In particular, I was looking at from that top to this bottom here. Saw this Harami candle inside after that push down. New low was made, just barely, right here. So the new low was made here. Harami candle, and then the two green lines. This is my entry. Is the first green horizontal line, and then this is where my exit was. I took 25 pips on this trade. You can see that in my history. Here is the trade right here. 25 pips profit, closed out for a profit of $12.63. The trade was in for 7 hours, and I came out with 0.13%. All right, the second trade was, this was right before the odd news, the Australian news that came out. This was about an hour before that came out. This was this news here. So it was the unemployment change. Now I didn't know what this news was going to be, but I was trading on the Kiwi NZD, so I didn't think that it would affect me. Yes, this news, this unemployment change, would affect me if it was negative or positive. But I knew, since I wasn't trading, directly on the odd, that I wasn't going to be massively affected. I could have gotten into some drawdown because of the news, but I don't think it was going to be really substantial. The news ended up going in my favor, with it being very positive, the unemployment change. And soon after that news was that came out, I think it was about an hour after. A few hours later. It was kind of a slow-moving trade. These are 4-hour candles. So it took about 8 hours, I believe, for the trade to close out. But it was fairly clean once the news did come out. All right, so moving on. Okay, my entry here. I sold the pound. So you guys know that my original entry back earlier in the week was actually right when this reversal happened. I entered and took 30 pips profit right about in there. So bought there and took out my profit there. So remember how I'm always saying I always take a small piece of a large pie. Well, this is in that exactly that right there. It was the reversal point that I found, and I took only 30 pips, but it did move up in a big way from that point. Now, unfortunately, I'm not a person to try to take advantage of that by entering. Sorry, maneuvering a little bit here. By entering at that level and then trying to shoot for as much profit as possible. So my first entry, sell entry, was right after this big news scandal, after the FOMC minutes news came out. This candle happened, and then directly the hour after was this harami that I was looking at, looking for a retracement of this push up. Now, it was pretty flat, didn't happen. This was a news candle. A lot of times news candles don't really do a whole lot for the price action in reading it, because it is strictly news driven. I'm not incredibly surprised that this candle didn't reverse right after, but I was expecting some kind of pullback, and I was only looking for about 20 pips, I think, during that time. So it didn't happen, but I re-entered. So I saw this the second level. So this is my second entry up here. Now, why did I pick that level? I'll show you. So scrolling back a little bit, I saw the level was pretty obvious in here, also in here. So I know there was some resistance at that point, or there was a possibility for it. Now, you guys, I've told you before that I don't like a lot of too small spacing between my trades, especially on the pound, since I know it's volatile. That was only 53 pips. Typically, what I want to do on the pound is anywhere from 70 to 120 pips from the first to the second order. Now, this is a lot smaller, and I took that. I guess if you will, risk on trying to get these lower levels, because I saw that it was pretty strong, or could be, and so I thought that it was a worthy risk to take on making my second entry a little lower, and it ended up being a very good choice. So my second entry was just about perfect. It hit this peak on that candle, on this bullish candle, and then directly right after, we had a push back down. Now my profit is this green line, which is a little bit strange because I think there was a mess up in MT4 on that profit level, because if you look at my my FX book, you'll see that I took 29 pips on the top order and 19 pips loss on the bottom order. Now, if you look at the calculation where I've marked it, it's quite odd because it says 29 pips there, but it says 25 pips, 26 pips from the lower order. So I think there's something that's not being read correctly there, but my profit is showing correctly. My profit is showing correctly on the MyFX book, and it's showing correctly on the dollar amount. But for some reason on the numbers, it's not. I don't think it's showing correctly. I'm not sure if that's an O&A problem or not, but it's not something I'm too concerned about because my profit is showing correct. Okay, so first entry, second entry was great. My profit was hit very smoothly within the next hour. Right after that, I was out of that trade right before the big push back up. So it was a very wise decision, at least for me this time, to take that second trade a little lower, hitting that peak for the small pullback. Okay, so what I'm looking at now is a really slow market. That's what I'm looking at. Since the news that came out with retail sales for the pound, so this news right here, just in case you guys have not kept up, the retail sales news. You see all the numbers really positive pound. And so that's why the big shoot up on pretty much all pound pairs during that, right after that news. 100 pips on the pound US dollar, and I think even more on the other ones. Yeah, 180 pips there. And then also, I think even more on the pound Aussie. Yeah, 200, 230. So that's the positive retail sales. Any positive news that we get in the pound on the pound right now, people are really rolling with because it's been hurting so bad lately. So the Euro US dollar, my entries were same. Was right. Oh, my pen is not working. Okay, so new high, Harami candle. You know I like the Harami candles for this type of situation. My entry, as you can see. And it kind of ranged a little bit, did break the high, but it's been kind of flat in this area for the last while. I'm not sure if it's going to move. The movement for this week could be done. It seems like there's some unsurety going on with the USD because of the minute statement yesterday was very mixed. So people are very unsure what's happening with the interest rate still, which I thought that could happen. I mean, anything could happen. I was hoping that it would be positive, that they would say that things are looking good for a raise in interest rates. But it wasn't really that way. So we'll see if there's a pushback down, retracement. There could be a late day move. A lot of times on Friday there is, where we'll see some movement in the next few hours or even later. And then I guess we'll go from there. I'm not much in drawdown at this point. Right now it's only about 10 pips. The pound odd. I jumped into this a couple hours ago. My entry, I liked my entry a lot. It was a new high, broke this high here after a big push from the news. Harami candle right after, moved down, and it got within how many pips? It got within about 3 to 4 pips away from my exit. Really unfortunate. I know you guys have experienced that before. When the price gets really close, you think that the broker's messing with you. No, it's just how it works. I was considering closing it out, but I decided to leave it in. I try not to mess with my orders too much when they're placed, unless I see a lot of that level, that right above or below my take profit, where it's like 2 or 3 pips away. If it keeps messing with that level and not just going and hitting my profit, sometimes I will close it out earlier. So if I'm seeing a lot of support or resistance around my profit level. So we're getting a nice reversal candle. This is almost a Harami at this point. There's still about 15 minutes left of that candle. But I think it's just about, if it hasn't already broken the low of the previous candle. If that was another Harami candle, that would be a really good indication for me for a bigger push down. Where it stands, I think that this is looking pretty good for me. There's a good chance that I could get out of this trade by the end of the day. The Euro US dollar, I'm not so sure about because this has been flat, and it's possible that it could remain this way throughout the day with this kind of small range or up and down. So that's what I'm looking at right now. I have my second pending order placed about 90 pips above my first entry. I'm looking at this level here as my second entry. On the Euro US dollar, my second entry is also fairly high. I'm looking at this level up here, here, and here. So I put my second level at the whole number around in that area. So I mean it's a little bit messy since we actually see three little small levels here, but there is a whole number in that area, as you can see from my pending order. It's right near the whole number, right under it. So 13,742. So I thought that was a pretty good level to have a second pending order, and I think that it's a little bit higher than I usually do have. It's about 70 pips away, but that doesn't concern me very much. Like I said before, a lot of times I can get entries before my second pending order is actually executed. If I see something in price action that indicates that I have a good chance for a reversal earlier, then I'll take it. Okay, so that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about regarding my trades now. Some of the news. Now I'm going to get to some questions that you guys have. Okay. Freddie, yeah, I do trade on Fridays. I'm sure you just figured that out since I was just showing. Where's your stop loss? Daniel, I don't have a pip stop loss. I have a percent stop loss. Just because you don't have a pip stop loss doesn't mean that you can't still have one. Some people have mental stop losses, which I don't like. But since it can be really ridden by emotions, my stop loss is based on percent. 7% in the negative, and I will close out all of my trades and start looking for other opportunities. So yeah, I basket trade until I lose 7% or 7% of equity on my account is in the negative. Then I'll close out all of my trades for a loss. AUD USD. Sure. Yeah, this trade actually hurt my pound Australian dollar trade a bit this morning. So when I entered my pound, if you can see my cursor, it was right about in here, and the Australian dollar dropped a lot at that point. Well, not a lot, but it was about 25 pips or so. And when that dropped, it hurt my pound trade a bit, and it went up against me. So what I'm seeing right now is not a big move back down. If some of you like looking at swing levels and support resistance, you could look at these. So some of you may be looking at these tops here. So this could be it's going down here. So this could be a continuation of this move back down. And that's the level that's pretty important. Also there too. So this could continue to ride back down. I need this to reverse and go up a bit for my pound odd trade, though. I need the Australian dollar to strengthen a little bit, and the pound to fall a bit. Right now, that's kind of happening. I'm still seeing this candle. That's looking pretty good. I needed to close pretty strong in order for me to get some more downward movement on this pair. The USD. Okay, so if you're selling this pair, I'd be looking for take profits in here and down here. If this candle currently closes as a harami inside, then we could see a bit of a retracement back up. If that's the case, I'd be looking for that level here and also there for a potential reversal points before it decides to go back down. So we're reading just a straight technical analysis. Why? Because there's not a lot of news coming out. I think the news is pretty much done for today. So whatever's left today is going to be based likely on some price action or the technical side. That's why I think that there's not going to be a lot of movement on many pairs the rest of the day. So if that's the case, I don't mind holding these two positions over the weekend. It's not a big deal for me. There's only two open positions. I don't have multiple. I'm not in big drawdown or anything like that, at least not yet. So I'm not concerned about holding these over the weekend. All right, so Andre, yeah, no problem. I hope. Great. I'm glad that your broker worked it out for you. Okay, so I'm going to YouTube. See what's going on in there. That's interesting, Patrick. Did you take that? Did you take my entry, Patrick? Did you take my same, I guess, rule set or that I take for my entries? If so, then that could be the reason why you were in on the pound at the same time I was. So I think I explained the euro US dollar, guys. I think that there's not going to be a whole lot more gas in this pair today. There could be a later day move. Right now it's looking pretty flat, like it's waiting for something. So we could see a later day move. I've seen it happen on Friday where at like 1 to the 3 o'clock bracket, that's East Coast time, so 1 to 3 p.m., I started seeing some movement when it's flat like this after a fairly, it hasn't been a very big news week either. So it could stay this way. There could be some late day movement, but right now I still think overall it's going to be kind of this small range that's happening. Set mine in motion. Trailing stops. I'm not a big fan of trailing stops because it means that you're still losing pips. You see, so this guy Set Mind on YouTube says I'm considering a scalping strategy based on short-term reversals on the 1-minute chart with a trailing 2 to 3 pip stop loss. What's your view on that? Scalping is fine, but most of the time scalping is difficult. It's not very accurate. It's hard to make a profit with it, especially because the smaller the time frame, the harder it is to make a profit, in my mind. The shorter the time frame. So the shorter means that price action is harder to read because the candles don't follow that very well. And so scalping on shorter time frames can be difficult in the 1 minute because you don't really know exactly where everything's going. I do have a scalping strategy that's martingale. I know that I've said martingale strategies don't usually work. Most of the time they don't, but in scalping they can, and they actually can be pretty good. That system that I use actually can be really good. I trade it. It was taught to me by a buddy of mine. And I traded 10 times less risk than what he does, and was still able to make about 10 to 20% per month with it. And I did that on my previous accounts. I don't use it anymore because it requires at least a 400 to 1 margin. I can maybe squeeze around 300 to 1. And I'm a U.S. resident, so I can't. I don't use offshore brokers because they're not regulated for traders in the U.S. But I did make some really good profit over the course of those 15 months that I've been profitable. I did use my scalping strategy for probably about 4 months of that, and I was able to profit about 100 overall. If I were to guess, it was probably about 120% or so. 100 to 120% on scalping was what I was able to profit. But I was always sweating bullets, man. It's scalping is intense. It's hard. It's not. It's stressful. And I remember that I think I told the story before, but I had over 300 lots out at one point, maybe close to 400 lots out on the broker when I was trading a 466K account and scalping on it. I had to get special permission from the broker so I could execute trades as large as 350 lots, and so I needed special permission from them to unlock that. If you know that most MetaTrader brokers only allow you to do 100 lots, but I needed a lot more if I was to still make that 10 to 20% per month on a $465,000 or $66,000 account. So I did that. I did that for a while, and it worked out well. But things get really sketchy when you have a 350 lot trade out. It's also really intense as well. That happened once. So I had a 300. So I think my max limit was 350 lots, and my trade was about 300. And then I had also a 100 lot trade out, a 50 as well, and then some smaller ones after that. So I think my total lot amount out at one point was close to 500. It was pretty ridiculous. So I don't recommend scalping on a large account, especially at that level, just because things can get really hairy when you're asking for special permission. A lot of liquidity providers don't allow trade sizes of over 100 lots in one order, but if you can get special permission, that happens. But a lot of times those orders can be slipped. They don't execute correctly, and it can cause problems. No, what I'm doing now is not scalping. This is on the 1 hour and 4 hour charts, and most of the time my positions, I think I have an average time length right now for my trades. It says my average trade length is about 15 hours. So I guess that's what you should expect on my positions. So that it's not something that's going to take profit overnight. Although some trades will close really quickly. I've had trades close as fast as 10 minutes. All right, forex signals. I'm looking at your questions now. Wait, is it only Thursday today, or is it Friday? Ha! I thought it was Friday, guys. That's crazy. Okay, hold on a second. Wow, what a mess up. I'm checking to see the news tomorrow. Okay, so there isn't much going on with news-wise for the USD. It looks like the CAD is going to get some CPI for tomorrow. I'm not in any CAD trades or anything like that. That's so crazy that I thought it was Friday. So I have family over, and that's probably one reason why I've been thrown off, because it seems like the week is shorter. But that's great. That means I have got a lot more room for these trades to close out before the weekend's done. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah. Thanks for PA Jim for letting me know that there's an extra day in the week apparently. Okay, yeah, where can I find your MyFX book results? Okay, so nobody's posted them here. I'll post them here. Okay. So for those of you checking out my MyFX book, so that's my current trading right now that you see. Scroll down to the bottom, you can see all my previous results in the last 15 months. I think it is now. I don't know if I'm in my 16th month now, but I'm pretty sure it's 15. No, PA Jim, it's not Friday where I am already. I'm just a dumbass, apparently. But I'm glad because I should be able to get some more trading in tomorrow. I will be traveling. I am traveling at later in the morning, so I should be able to put some trades in the morning. I might see what's going on, but it could be a shorter week for me. So whatever happens later in the day tomorrow, that is I might not be able to take some positions. But a lot of times you guys know that I don't take a lot of trades on Friday. It depends on how early they are in the day. If it's late in the day and it looks really good, I might place it as well. But yeah, Friday is my a lot of times I'm very wary of taking positions on it, although I still will trade. You wanted to catch the stream. It's probably not very exciting stream compared to what you guys are used to. Oh, that's interesting because I'm looking at the recovery man right now. Is it showing all the results from? Is it showing like Viper's account and stuff like that right now? Because that's what I'm seeing on the recovery man page. Here, I'll show you what I'm seeing. I'm not sure if that changed because I started doing my stream or not. But yeah, usually it shows my account. So this is the recovery man page, I guess. Usually it's been showing my account, but right now it's showing what's done on the Forex Signals website. So I don't know if this will change out once my stream is done or not. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, so for those of you that are watching that ma'am, yeah, don't be expecting like profits right away on it. It's a little less exciting than watching Good Boy make some profit and then lose it all. But trading's not supposed to be exciting. It's great when you make profit, but it's not supposed to be this game type of situation. So I felt like a lot of people might have been approaching Good Boy's trading like that. Like, it's so awesome, it's so quick, it's so fast. But you see what happens when you approach the market like that. Okay, so looking at my positions now. So this closed pretty good good for me. This candle I'm looking at, it wasn't a Harami or anything like that, but it closed fairly bearish. I would expect more on the downside here. That's just maybe me being biased on this position and where my entry is. But considering the push up, the news already happened. Harami candle here. The push up is slowing down currently. I would expect some more of a push down. Now, let's see if we can get any hints on any of the other pairs. All right, so yeah, this is where I'm looking at. This is my hint. So I told you before, but this is a Harami candle, and it's right after a push down. Now this isn't a big push from the top to the bottom. But this Harami candle after so many reds in a row indicates to me that this is probably going to have some push back up, a retracement. I'd be looking at this level for it to retrace to, maybe here, maybe there, and then definitely the top. So those are the three levels I'm looking for. The first one being here for the retracement, reaching all the way up there. If it does do that, if it does push up there, then my chances of this pound going in my favor also increases, because that means that the Australian dollar is losing value. If it's losing value on this pair, and is indicating me that that's has potential, then this will also fall. You see what's happening right now. This is rising, and this is falling. And this is just doing its own thing. See if we can get any hints on this on the Euro US dollar. Okay. We have a small push there. I don't think it's very big. 85 pips. This is an inside candle, which is not, and we know that the US dollar Japanese yen is correlated, a negative correlation to the US dollar. So when this goes down, that means that this is unfortunately going up. So the outlook on this isn't looking great, because inside candle, Harami, and a push back down. Now we're at what levels potentially there is what we're looking at. Yeah, that's a pretty looks like a pretty strong level. So here and maybe here. So this could go down a few pips. How much? Hopefully not a lot. To that level, it's about 40 pips. So if it moves down about 40 pips, then I don't think I'll get filled if it moved 40 pips. That's about 50 away. I don't think this is going to move 50 pips today. But yeah, retracement down here. If it goes down, then this will likely go up in some way or form. How much, I don't know, and the correlation. Any other hints? Let's see. Nothing there. Trade here, by the way, that I missed because I took the NZD JPY. That was a great trade. Right before the news came out. So that would have been very risky for some of you guys with the unemployment rate on the odd Australia that came out. Okay, so coming back to the questions. Okay, yeah, FX Protector, good question. Ryan, recent price action of pound odd is kind of bullish on day one. What do you think? Let's pull up to day one. Okay. Yeah, I would say that you're right, because we have a candle here that is an engulfing candle. Alright, so the push happened right after that engulfing candle, which would have been a great entry on the day one. And if we look at that, it's already pushed up total 200 pips since that candle happened. So because it's pushed up to 200 pips from that initial candle, that could be where it stops. I mean, it could stop anywhere. So it's done its initial push of 200 pips. It means that it could keep going. Definitely keep going. But it also could have a pullback. Now you can see there's a small wick up there too. So it could pull back down a little bit after that initial push from the news. We're looking at levels right there. Right where my entry is, actually. My first entry. Now if we're looking at price action, look at this area here. Now I got my cursor out because I'm marking that area, Now, if we scroll all the way over, that same level, so that support level, could potentially react as a resistance point for the current price. And I would think, this is my suggestion, is if it closes above where my cursor is right now. So if it closes above where it is, which right now it's basically right on it, then it could continue up higher. And if it closes below that, then yeah, there could be some more pushback down. So if you're wanting to see a continuation of the trend, if it's going to continue to go up, that's what I would be basing it off, is that level right there. Okay, so moving back to the 1 hour. So I would say that the push on the 1 hour already happened, enough of a push. And the support resistance area should be looked at if there's a continuation or if it's going to fall back down. Right now, obviously since I'm in this trade, my initial impressions is for a short medium-term fallback. So pullback to about this level, to this resistance point. So that's about 35 pips from where it is right now, and that's basically where my profit is as well. And then either a continuation, if it closes below, then a continuation. But if it doesn't, if it shows some resistance, flag candles that give flags, and don't close below that level, then it could shoot back up. That doesn't mean I can't shoot up back up right now either. We just try to give ourselves hints, looking at the candles, looking at the price action, looking at the trend, looking at the levels on my favorite time frames, the 1 hour and the 4 hour. Firaz J? Is that how you pronounce that? I have 700 pips trade idea on the GA last week, 290 pips done, 420 to go. It's not going straight up, of course. So are you, it sounds like you're long, obviously. The more pips that you shoot for, the harder it is to actually get those pips. Because that means that you have to be right on the overall movement of that pair for a long time. Because 700 pips is quite a lot. That means that's over days and days. And the more pips that you shoot for, the harder it is to get those pips. So unfortunately, what could happen is a complete change in the trend, and you could lose your 290 pips that you already have already. So keep that in mind, but that's just me. I'm conservative. I don't shoot for that many pips. I think it's too hard to achieve those numbers, and that's why I always go for the lower number. All right, YouTube, sorry, neglecting you guys. I'm coming back. Yes, a lot of CAD news tomorrow, Patrick. Yeah, far out. I'm chatting on forexsignals.com. So forexsignals.com. That's where the stream is being posted. That's where the stream originated from. And I go through YouTube for the stream, so it can be integrated into the website. So that's why you guys on YouTube are able to see it. Let me post my FX book link for you guys on YouTube. So forexsignals.com, join for free. You can see the chat room there, trade ideas, lots of cool stuff on that website. Why is it free to follow you? Absolute and not a percentage of the follower's account. That's how it works on SimpleTrader.com. You just pay a monthly if you join my I guess my SimpleTrader signal, you'll get 2 free weeks, 2 weeks for free. And then after 2 weeks, after the 2-week period, you'd be charged $60 a month to copy my trading signals. And how it works is SimpleTrader, you sign up, it's free. Once you sign up for a Signal account, you don't pay anything until the trial period is over, and they give you an expert advisor. The expert advisor is basically like a robot that sends a signal from my account to the robot, and it places trades on your account automatically. And the trades that are placed on it are from me. So it basically copies my performance, and you don't have to do anything but leave your software and computer on, connected to the internet. It's actually really cool software. So this is looking like a really boring trading day after all that push on the news yesterday and today. So it's a kind of a dead market. At this point, we don't know what's really going to happen, if the trends are going to continue, if they're going to reverse. But right now, the price action looks pretty dumb. Looking to see if there's any trades that I missed. That is a potential trade forming on the pound CAD. I wouldn't take this since I'm on the pound odd. But yes, if that candle closes inside, which is a 4-hour candle, there's 2 hours left of this candle. But if it closes inside, that would be a trade. Another good indication that the pound is weakening. I'm going to check on the 4-hour charts on the other pairs too. Yeah, same thing. Pound Japanese yen inside candle potentially forming. That one is not on the pound odd on the 4-hour, but I think the pound, yep, the same here. So guys, that is also really big reassurance to me on my position on the pound Australian dollar. I'm getting price action reversals. Well, in the next 2 hours, I'll have price action reversals on all pound pairs. I'm already getting some on the 1 hour. I already received, which I missed, on the pound Japanese yen. Reversal there. So that's already started. The pound USD. That one's already, I think, taken profit. Right there. I missed that one. It was before I woke up in the morning. So I'd be shooting for 30 pips. Yep, that one already hit 34 pips. So this one is already out, but we could have another signal in the next 2 hours on the 4-hour chart. So since that's showing on all four pound pairs, I'm pretty confident with my pound Aussie trade. Now, just because it is showing reversal patterns on the other pairs, the other pound pairs, doesn't mean that I might have like a 100% chance that this is going to hit profit. But it means the likelihood when I see this happening, with my experience, my chances get better. Yeah. But I don't have a lot of insight yet into when it comes to cross pairs currency strength on the Euro US dollar right now, as it's ranging. Okay, so I'm going to answer a couple more questions, and I think I'm going to end for today since this is pitiful price volatility today. So I'm going to talk about my signal for a little bit, just in case you guys want to follow me or are interested. So those of you that are either struggling with your trading or just want some added profit, this is my signal once it loads. And I started back on April 7th of this year, and this is my signal since that time. I had the loss on the 12th of July. and I've been making that back. And I told my followers that I would make this back in 4 to 6 weeks. And right now I'm just about to finish my 5th week, I believe, if that is correct. Yes, just about to finish the 5th week. And I am, the highest point was 12.26% profit, and right now I'm at 11.66. So I am under a percent left to get back or to beat where I was before. Last week I was a profit of 1.16%. The week before that I was 0.96, and then this week I'm at 1.03. So I've been almost averaging a percent per week, at least in the last 3 weeks so far. This week's not even done yet, so I could exceed the 1.03. So I'm hoping that these 2 trades will close out. If they do, then I will probably be in the 1.3 to 1.5, or potentially above that for the week. So this month is looking pretty good. I'm hoping to be close to the 5% area. I've told you guys that I can make as much as 5%, or in the month of May I actually exceeded it. So it'd be great to have a 5% month right after the loss happened from the previous month. So things are looking great. Not in a lot of drawdown at the current moment. I'm going to post this to you guys, and all you got to do is join SimpleTrader. You select copy trades, and it will show you 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, and the 3 month plan is a little bit less than the 1 month if you pay in bulk, and the same is for the 6 month. Each one comes with a 2-week free trial that you guys can check out, and just you can get an idea of what my signal does and how it trades. Okay, so I'm gonna place that in YouTube first. Juan, no, I don't use a stop loss on pip amount. It's a percentage stop loss. The percentage stop loss is 7% of my account. Alright, so like I was telling you, the Euro US dollar is going up, and I saw that was probably going to happen with the price action and how it looked. So that's heading down a bit. I don't know how far it will go, but I know that these levels are pretty strong down here. So this retracement in my mind is limited. So I'll be watching the price action on the Euro US dollar to see if there's any more potential areas I can re-enter. So you can see my pending order up there, but if I have re-entries before that, I may take it. Alright, so for the forexsignals.com, same link, just in case you guys want to join my signal, or for the new traders especially. Alright, thanks to the members for helping out some of these other guys here, since I'm trying to answer questions on both YouTube and Forex Signals. Think big Forex? Yeah, I think you got that worked out. Friday 250, is that question for me? How many losses do you think you'll have in a year? I don't know. I hope none. You know, that's what I push for. But you can't. Losses are part of the game. So right now, my average is having one loss every 6 months. So my last one was in July of 12th. So just over a month ago, 5 weeks ago. And the one before that was February 4th of 2016. So I don't have losses very often, especially in the last year. In the last 15 months, if you look at my FX book trading history, you'll see that out of 15 months of trading, I've had only one losing month. 2 losing months. I've had 2 losing months. One was, let's see if I can pull it up. So this is losing month number 1. I had a 7.45% loss. That was back in February. Losing month number 2 is where I currently am. Or was in July, which was 2.7%. So 2 losing months out of 15, I think is pretty decent. Now let's check out the MAM account for those of you guys trading on that. We have this. This is what the MAM looks like. It does not look pretty. This is what I'm having to deal with for those of you that were trading with Good Boy before. So he made a 43% profit, lost all of that, and went negative, and then jumped back up and made 30%, being in the negative of 14, made 30%, so about 40% again overall, and then lost more. So now he's down 36% altogether from the time I took over, 36.31. So since then, we're using six times the risk level of my trading signal that you see here. So we're using 6 times what you see here on this account. So since I made what did I make today? Well, it doesn't say what I made today on this account for some reason. Hold on. Yeah, so whatever I made on today's trades, it's multiplied by 6 times. So I have made a 1.94% on those 2 trades I took last night. So that's the pound and the NZD JPY, which ended up being $976 on that account. Now I have a lot to make up for. I'm hoping that I can make most of the loss back within 4 weeks. Is my estimate. I'm hoping to make about 30 to maybe 35% in 4 weeks' time. So hopefully you guys can be patient with me, and you understand that I can't have any losing trades in that month, because if I have a losing trade or a cutoff of 7% on my personal account, you will lose 40% of this account. So we've talked about that. I don't have losing trades very often. That's how it's been over the last year. Out of 15 months, I've only had 2 losing months. So the thing is that we're shooting for my previous statistics, or my trading history, which means I don't have a lot of losing months or trades in general, or baskets, whatever you call it. So that's what we're shooting for. We're hoping for a month to recover this account and bring it back up to break even. At that point, we have a choice of keeping that risk level with the same cutoff. My biggest recommendation would be to cut that risk down to even to 3 from 6. So why? Because 3% 3 times means that we're still making a decent profit, which means that we're making anywhere from 10 to 20% per month, probably 10 to 15. And we also have another chance, because if we have a losing trade, we'll lose 20% of the account. And 20% is easier to deal with at that time, and it also means that I will have another chance to go another few months without losses and make that 20% loss back and exceed into profit territory. So what it does is it gives me initially 2 shots instead of just 1. And so that's what I'm going to press for the account, and I'm going to press it with Nick as well. But then it becomes more of a slower pace account for you guys. I know that you want high risk stuff. So maybe that's not what you want, and it will be your choice to vote on what you want to do. Obviously, but if I had any say, I would try to push the risk down after we do recover the account. But you know, even if I do press it, it doesn't mean that I have the last say on this account. It's a team effort, right? So that's what I'm trying to do here. But I do like to listen to your feedback. Why the big loss in June? In June of, you mean July of this year? Are you talking about? Are you talking about maybe you're talking about my personal account? The big loss in June was because of of a Euro Japanese yen trade that I was in, and there was a lot of talk about the Japanese implementing a really heavy stimulus package effort to help the economy in Japan. We didn't know the details of it, but there was a lot of speculation that it was going to be severe. And so this caused the euro to gain very heavily against the yen with little to almost no pullback. And so because of that event, that news event, I got stuck in it. There were too many buyers. There wasn't enough pullback, and that was one of those instances where I had to take a loss. Guys, anyone know when Good Boy will start making a signal again? I don't think he will. Well, he will. He'll try. But the thing is that he's too well known now, and he's too well known that he loses. It's too well known that he's a losing trader in the long term. He doesn't have any history past 3 months. Well, 3.5 months at this point. He doesn't have any previous accounts if you check him out on my FX book. All of his accounts that he's done in the past, which if you go on Forex Factory and do a search, or even in Google, you'll see that he's deleted. He's been caught deleting his accounts and manipulating them to appear that there was no loss. He's just not a good guy. So I don't recommend people following him because even though it looks good, what he does, it's exciting. There could be lots of potential profit. He trades in the too small time frames, which is the 5-minute, and he trades too high risk, and it's not a good match. Yes, Freddy, 250, he's a con man. I agree. Ryan, do you know what exactly I mean? Good question. Fire. Do you know what exactly I'm losing if I just copied signals from SimpleTrader? So you're talking about copying a signal, my signal from SimpleTrader in general, not from the Good Boy MAM recovery, right? Because in that case, you have your choice to copy my signals at the same risk level that I am, or you can push that yourself. You can push it to 7 times. You can push it to the maximum 14 times, which is the highest I recommend. But at 14 times risk means that you're putting 100% of your account at risk for when I have a loss. But the profits are pretty ridiculous. But it's not a risk that I recommend. But I really do. If you went to 15 to 16 times the risk amount, that's just not possible. You're even risking your account even more at that point. Do I plan on? If you do copy my signals, then what I recommend is risking my same amount. No more than that. I know that a lot of traders are doing 1, 2, and 3 times what I'm trading, and they seem to be happy with that. Now, am I planning on for a MAM or PAM in the future? Well, that's the hope. I've been in talks with Nick over the last while. And I believe, as far as I understand, I'm in the vetting process at this point. And I still need quite a few more months before anything like that is really seriously talked about. So I need to. I probably will need another 3 months of profitable trading history before things start moving into the more serious territory. So the next 3 months will be pretty important time for me, and I need to have some good performance. That doesn't mean that I can't have a loss in that time. It would be really great if I don't. It all depends on my discretion, what trades I pick, what news comes out, what happens in that period of time as well. But the discretion is, to me, the golden key in trading forex. What trades I pick, where my second entries are, because those can really affect as well. And so yes, I'm hoping that things go well and to be included in the VIP area for traders up there with Viper and Gold Star and all those guys as well. Playing it safe. I have a lot on my plate right now by trying to recover Good Boy's MAM. I don't know what will happen if I happen to lose that account. I don't know if it's going to hurt my reputation or not. I hope it's not, because it's something that I'm trying to do as a recovery for those clients that were, I guess, abused by Good Boy. I'm trying to. I'm doing that without any pay. Now there may be commission on the table once that's recovered, and so I'm not really sure at this point. But my mission is to recover those funds first, and then we'll take it from there. But I might even drop the account after the recovery is done, saying that I've done my job. This is it. What's the next step? Do we want to switch this over to somebody else that's willing to take this and really push the limits on it, or keep this going at a lower risk, at a higher the same risk? But this account does take some babysitting, and it's a little bit stressful because I know I have one shot at it. I don't have a lot of chances. I have one chance to really make this profit, this 36% back, and I have no room for loss, which is a little bit scary, because that's why I kind of dropped the high risk trading in the past, because of that mentality of all or nothing. But I understand that a lot of these guys that are trading on this account want that. They want that all or nothing type of feel to push those profits. So I don't know how I'm going to hold up over the month, especially if we don't have any losses. If we do, if we don't have any losses, then I'll have to decide how my mentality is doing, where I am in the vetting process at that point, how things are going overall, how many how many people I have copying my trades at that point, and where I am financially as well. So there's a lot of things that kind of have to be put in place step by step. T, yes, that's the account for Good Boy. That's the Good Boy mess that I'm trying to clean up. What's the difference in strategy between the two systems, the pullback and Good Boy ones? It's pretty easy. The pullback, that's my well, here, let me make this a little bit easier for you to check. So if you go to SimpleTrader, it's not really called pullback. It's actually called Ryan Analyst US Compliance Signal. Now, for those US traders, this is a US compliance signal. It means that you can trade this on any US broker as well. So the difference between my SimpleTrader account, so taking signals on this account, they're a lot lower risk. So you'll be risking 7% of your account on when I'm trading it. So that means that 7% of your account is at risk at one given time. And I will, once my trades get into that area of a 7% loss, I will cut them, and that will be taken as a realized loss. Now, the Good Boy recovery MAM, which is here, This is taking trades at 6 times what this account, what my initial balance of 9,741 is doing. So if I'm losing 7% on this account, you'd be losing 6 times that, which is roughly about 40%. So this is a higher risk account for those that are willing to take the risk and want a little bit of a gamble. So 40% of this account will be at risk at pretty much all given times at the 6 times my risk management level. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so let's see. YouTube, I haven't been come to you for a long time. Sorry. Why are losses so big? Kiss trading. Losses aren't that big. 7% loss is not that big, considering that if you look at most traders have drawdown of 30, 40, sometimes even 50%. Most traders don't have a loss cutoff of on their account as small as me. And if you're talking about pip size, yeah, a lot of traders can have a small loss in pips, but if they have the tighter their stop loss, the more losing trades they'll have. That's a fact. That's the fact. The smaller the stop loss, they will lose more. That's just how it works. So the idea was to if you have a type stop loss, then your profit should be more to make up for the losing trades that happen. I like to give my system room, or my trading style needs room for the trades to move into my profit territory. And so I don't use a pip stop loss. I don't think it's beneficial. I haven't used a stop loss on my trading in a long time. When it comes to pip amount, I haven't used a stop loss. So, I do that because I'm a basket trader, and I find there's a lot of value in that in basket trading if it's done correctly. Bad risk reward. What is bad risk reward? You should ask yourself that. It doesn't mean in trading. Honestly, I don't think there's any bad risk reward. There's risk reward ratios that are ridiculous on some traders that you'd never think that would work, and it's working for them. So I don't think there's any really bad risk ratios in trading, because there are so many different types of them, and so many people can make different things work that it's hard to just peg something as bad. Just because you have 10 losing trades to 1 winning trade doesn't mean that you have a bad win-loss ratio or risk ratio. I mean, initially in statistics, 10 losing trades to 1 good one, that seems bad. But what if that good trade was 1,000 pips and the 10 little trades were only 100 pips total? Then you have made 900 pips overall. So yeah, to me, I just don't think that's something in this world that makes much sense anymore. Kiss trading. Not sure exactly. So darn easy forex is the best guide to trust on YouTube. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Are you saying that I'm the best guy on YouTube or the worst guy? So hopefully not the worst guy. What about your major knives like Brexit Action or CHF Swan? How do you survive with no stop loss? I don't trade those. I don't trade those events. That's simple and easy. I don't trade heavy news events. I got caught in the stimulus talk in the Japanese yen back in July. I got caught in that because it happened so abruptly. There was no news statement about it. It came out without any indication that it was coming out. They didn't say that on this date we were going to talk about potential stimulus package for the yen. That didn't. No, it was all of a sudden. It was abrupt, and so that's what caused the yen to just get dominated for a couple weeks. And then once that stimulus was talked about, it was said not to be as severe. Then the yen fell really hard after that. So that's what was frustrating to me, is that this movement on the yen at that time in July was based on rumor. It was based purely on rumor, and it caused the yen to just get jacked. And so that's the world that we live in. We live in these currencies are heavily manipulated. I don't care which currency it is, all of them are manipulated in some way by central banks, by the large investors, hedge funds. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Institutions a lot of times will drive the price as well, because they're the ones that have all the money. So it's a lot of times the price is manipulated in like that, and it's really hard for us to follow it because we don't really know what these guys are doing on the back end. A lot of questions coming in. Shoot. The good boy system is great for blowing accounts quickly. That is exactly right. It's good for growing accounts quickly and blowing accounts quickly. But there's no correlation between the two. They're both correlated is what I mean. They connect. Unfortunately, whenever a good boy profits, he loses more. 7% per trade, or 7% for all open trades. It's all for all open trades. So if I have a 7% loss on all open trades, I will close them out. It's not just one pair. I use an equity protect EA to manually close out the trades. I also, if I don't use that, I will wake up a couple of times in the night to check my trades to make sure that they're not hitting the 7%. But if anybody has an equity cutoff EA, I have one, but it doesn't work very well because of the FIFO rule. I need an EA that closes the first order first, and then it closes the rest of them after that. I'm considering having one paid and made for this weekend, just to get this worked out. But if anybody has one that does that, it needs to be a simple EA that closes out all the orders at a percent level or a negative percent level. It doesn't even need to be positive. It needs to be a negative percent level that I can place at 7%, and it needs to close out the first order first, and then the rest of them after that in that progressive order. Just because this is a U.S. broker, and that's what's required. This is why some traders are like good boy. Well, everybody likes to gamble. Everybody likes gambling. That's why are casinos so popular? You know, it's and people like that sensation of winning a lot of money, and unfortunately, losing sucks. But I don't know. It's all about that anticipation of potentially coming out with a jackpot, and that's pretty much what good boy goes for, and that's why it's so exciting. That's why I felt like initially he grabbed on to a lot of gambling people because of that. So a lot of the casinoers, that people that potentially like to gamble, but in their defense, it's money that they can afford to lose, and so they're willing to take that risk. How are you protecting the 7% capital loss? I'm protecting it by making a profit. So if you look at I'll back up really fast. If you look at my FX book, you'll see that my average monthly profit is 2.5%. Okay, that's not huge, That's okay. You know, I'm profiting. But you'll see that if I don't have a 7% loss within that month, I make 2.89, 2.52, 5.4. So my average, if you're looking at just the 3 months in this area, it's about 3 to 5%, 3 to 4% area. And then right now I'm in 3.2. So if I don't have a loss during that month, I'm in that bracket of 3 to 5% per month. So when I have a 7% loss cutoff that happens, then I'm able to make that loss back in 4 to 6 weeks. I've said before that when my loss happened, it would take me, after that loss happened, I said, guys, it would take me probably about 4 to 6 weeks to make that loss back. Right now I'm in my 5th week, and I should be able to be in the positive, or at least at break even at the end of next week. Sniper FX, good boy is dead because he was a gambler. The thing is that he's always been a gambler. But he will always find a crowd. There will always be a crowd for him, and he knows that. He will always find new traders. He'll always find new prey, if you will, to lure in. And this is good boy jumping on the highest level of, I guess, press. A lot of people were watching him this time. He couldn't hide his account. He was trading a MAM account. He lied to Nick multiple times, saying that 40% cutoff was fine. He was never going to hit it. Oh, obviously he hit it twice. So, yeah, he's definitely dead at this point, and it's all the forex factory too. This information that this project or this adventure that he went on was pushed all over the internet. I think he's going to struggle to come back for a while, but usually what he does is once he has a crashed account, he'll go quiet for a few months, and then he'll come out, find a new crowd to approach, and go about it that way. It's unfortunate, but it's going to be a never-ending process. Do you use a computer program for scanning markets or for potential trades? I use just MT4 for looking for trades, and I don't use any indicators except for the candlesticks. I read price action. I read the fundamental side as well, so technical and fundamental. And I look at candlestick patterns to see what's happening, so I can have some entry points. I don't think it's necessary to use indicators besides the candlesticks. Oh, you can, Freddie. That's 250. You're right. You can enter in SimpleTrader to close all positions at a percent level. That's nice. Yeah, I didn't realize that. But I still just need an EA that does that for me. I don't have an EA on my side that's going through like a SimpleTrader EA that's speaking to your EA. I don't have that. But yeah, you can always set that cutoff on your side if you want to just to be safe at 7%. Or depending if you're using 3 times the risk level, then that 7% will need to be what is that, 21%? Cutoff. Far out. Don't get stuck on that risk-reward ratio, man. I'm telling you. Look at. You gotta check people like, okay, Viper, maybe not the best example right now to use, but he has a really high win rate, and he trades similarly to me. Also, Gold Star, similar type of movement as well. Viper is somewhat of a counter trend trader as well, but the risk-reward ratio, you gotta throw that out the window. People have abused that risk ratio, saying that if you have to win more than you lose, that's, yeah. But if you have a high win rate, if you have like a 90% win rate and your losses are bigger than your wins, then that's okay. If you're still coming out positive, it doesn't matter what risk ratio you're using. You got to expand your mind a little bit so you're not put in such a cookie cutter type of you're not a cookie cutter type of trader. There's more possibilities out there. Break the rules. Try to find something different, because if you don't do that, you might not find an edge. Yeah, Sniper FX. I wasn't surprised. Honestly, I couldn't do anything about it. I knew this was going to happen. Because I've known Good Boy for longer than a lot of you guys. I've known about Good Boy for 6 or 7 months now, and I saw the whole process happening. I tried to stop it from happening. I tried to stop him from coming in, and pushing his stats on everybody. Because I knew there were going to be people that went for it, and he was going to lose money. Eventually, he might have made a decent profit at some point, and he did, starting out. But I knew overall he was going to lose it. And I'm sure he did too. I don't know why he would push it. I guess he was just trying to milk the commissions as far as he could before the losses would happen. Or he's just a really naive trader and thinking that somehow this time I'm not going to lose. I don't know. It's weird mentality I don't agree with. Well, the Sniper FX, I don't want to say that they're suckers. Sadly, though, he will find more suckers, because I don't want to offend the people that are on his account, because they don't know the difference. To them, it's great profit. They might not be really educated traders. They don't know a lot about the fundamentals, the technical side. They just see the stats. They see that he's making a lot of money in a short amount of time. And so most people would call him, oh, he's the best trader in the world type of thing. But what they don't know is they don't know the history of him and what this type of trading brings. He doesn't educate people on that. Good Boy doesn't talk to people. He doesn't let people know what to expect from his trading or his history or anything. And so they go blind. And so all that they can see is the positive side of it. So to them, it is sad, and that's why I don't like Good Boy that much, because I feel like he takes advantage of these people in this way. So that's why I took over this account, and that's why I've been telling people exactly what to expect. And I'm really happy to see that most people have stayed on that Recovery MAM account, because because they have been so tormented by this whole situation in regards to him and how that whole account has been approached. So I wanted to change every aspect of it, meaning tell people exactly what to expect. 30% or so profits per month. Maybe just under. It may be under that. It may be over, but that's the average I would expect. What to expect on the loss side? 40%. Right, the cutoff may happen. The realistic view of when that could happen, how it could happen, and as long as they're aware of that, it helps them make a better decision on if they want to stay, if they want to go, what to do in the future. So I feel like they are owed that information. That was never given to them, at least by Good Boy. Nick did as much as he could to allow his user base to be educated by that, but it was very minimal because not even Nick knew as much about Good Boy's trading. Fair enough, but I will say it. Enough people warned in this room that it wouldn't last over the long term. I suppose you're right. But there's always that hope there, right? There's the same thing with me trading this account. We know it's not going to last in the long term. That's why I told you I'm going to push for making the 40%, getting the account back in positive, and then potentially trying to shoot for the risk to go down a bit on this account. Because I don't like that all or nothing type of mentality. I want to give traders more of a chance, but I still want to keep those profits up there as high as I can. And to me, three times risk is about the highest you can go. And to make this trading still work in some way. But the 7 times is what we're pushing for now, and attempt to make those profits back in a month. Now, let's cross our fingers, hoping that I make the correct decisions over the next month and making that loss back. And then we can talk further about risk and how to make this account not just this temporary if route or road, if it's going to do this, if it's going to do that. Let's make it something that is going to be longer lasting. It can be greedy. Yeah, it can be taken as greedy ones, greedy people. But are we all greedy in some way? Whether it's in trading or something else, I mean, we all have that mentality as humans to want something, Money is such a thing that makes us go crazy, It brings stress, it brings happiness, it can bring happiness, but unfortunately it brings stress no matter what. Having money, you can have stress. Not having it, stress as well. But a lot of people think that money will bring happiness, and I'd have to disagree. I don't think it does. I think the happiness that money brings is limited to a certain level. But living comfortably to me is what I care about. But living comfortably to somebody that has money is different. So yeah, I don't know. The money is definitely a tricky subject to talk about. But if some people were greedy, I don't blame them. Good boy had really insane results for a while until it's just not. Trend line trader. Yeah, you can take profits though, Ryan. You don't have to keep it all in, like a casino. I know that's so true, but why live in that stress though? That's how I say. You can take your profits out, but you're also hoping. I hope Good Boy makes 100% on that account, because then I can withdraw my initial balance and I can just be messing with profit at that point. That's in the best world possible, right? But you're still hoping for that 100%, and that's where the risk comes in. It's like, when do you take those profits out? Do you take them out after he reaches 30%, 20%, 50%? You never really know, but most people initially were probably thinking once you got up to 100% that they would take their profits out. But yeah, to me that's a hard way to trade forex, because you just never know when to take those profits out. How long will I keep my EU trade in against me? Well, I have a second level up here. So if that second level is entered or executed, then I will change my profit for both trades, and I will change it to probably about there. And so that would be a 40 pips profit about on the first trade, and the 31 pips on the second. So I probably want to take about 10 pips on this. Now the thing is on my second trade, first trade is 0.05 and the second trade is 0.10. So the risk is higher. It's double on the second trade. Now I only martingale on the first order. So the first order is the only one that's at 0.05. Second order is 0.1. Third order is 0.1, and etc. etc. So I will basket trade and then come out with a small profit. So since this is only 10 pips profit from the top to the bottom, so 30 pips from there and 40 pips from the top, so I'll come out with an overall 10 pips. But the thing is, since the risk on the top order is higher than the lower, then I will come out with, technically, if you're talking about pip amount, it would look like 20 pips overall, because I have more risk on the top order. It will be 10 pips. It will be 10 pips in profit, but it will be double that in actual dollar amount. because of the risk on the top order. And I will enter trades throughout the course of this move if it continues to go against me at support resistance levels. Sniper FX, yeah, I hope this goes well. I hope it does. I'm just doing what I'm doing. As you know, I'm trading on my personal account, so everything I take is being copied to multiple accounts. Being copied to the high risk MAM. It's being copied to my buddy's account of $1,544. So it's being copied to his account. It's being copied to my high risk account at Forex Broker Inc. That's $1,238. I may close this account. I'm not really sure. I've been seeing a little bit of funny action going on. So check this out. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this at Forex Broker Inc. If any of you are there. So you saw that I took one trade on the NZD JPY. So if you go and two trades on the pound US dollar. Now this is where it gets really weird in my history. So you can see my two orders. Okay, here they are. Okay, so order 1 was 0.16 lots, and order 1 was 0.08 lots, and order 2 was 0.16. Now I was a profit of 29 pips on the first order, and then 19 pips loss on the other, coming out with an overall profit gain on this $45 on the profitable trade and $17 loss on the second trade. Now, what are all of these orders? This is where things get really weird. Is that these all opened up, and I'm not even sure why. They opened up right before the take profit and then closed out for negative of negative in pips, and it caused me to have losses. So look, they were only open for 4 minutes, 1 minute, 0 seconds. So very, very quickly. Same thing happened on my other trades as well. And so I'm losing profit on this account. I'm not really sure what it's caused by. I'm probably going to have to contact support. I've never seen anything like this before on Forex Broker Inc. But yeah, it's happening on multiple trades. UCAD, I had 4 trades in, and it's showing multiples on that as well. And the other trades that I have in, like the NZD, that one seemed to work just fine. It was a straight profit, but when I have multiple trades in, things get a little strange. So I might have to close this account out, unfortunately, because of some strange behavior on either the broker's side or maybe my copier, but I need to get down to the bottom of it because it's causing me to lose out on profit. So anyways, okay. And is Forex the main source of income or music? I've mentioned this before. I do part-time music touring, and which pays decent. I don't do enough concerts for it to be more than a part-time job. And then I full-time in trading. I have a $9,700 account. Not going to be honest with you guys. It's about transparency here, right? So my $9,700 is not enough for a full-time income. And I'm not going to hide that fact. It's not enough for full-time income. I need about $40,000 for a full-time income to be passable. $40,000 account. And so I've got another ways to go. Now at this rate, I'm going to get to that $40,000 probably in about 3 years. So I got to be patient. And so that's why I'm here. That's why I am, doing some live streams to get the community involved, teach a little bit, get involved with SimpleTrader. And I introduced myself to Nick, showed him my stats. I'm currently in the vetting process to maybe being a VIP member at some point. So yeah, I'm not making a full-time income with trading, but I am trading full-time. My wife trades as well. My wife trades. My wife works as well. She is in digital advertising. And so her income is enough to sustain us just by itself, which is nice. And I also have my music on the side that helps, and then some trading profits. This account that you have that you're seeing here, I've made since in the last month. This account has made $542. So you can see that that's not a full-time income. And that's just in about a period of a month's time. So that's why that's why I said I need about 40K in order to make that to make trading work on my personal account. Trendline trader, you're very talkative. Okay, yeah, trendline trader, 2K a month is a passable full-time income to me. But a true full-time income to me, as a middle-class American, is about 4,000. Yeah. Daniel, I've said it a few times before. How long do I keep my positions open? My positions have a standard average time of 15 hours. And I keep them in until I have a 7% loss. I don't make 20% per year far out. I would make a lot more than that. Hold on, guys. I need to check my phone. Okay. Yeah, I make more than that. I'll average, I would guess, anywhere from 100 to 150% per year with compounding. Sorry, that's not correct. I'll average probably 50 to 75%. I might be close to 100% if I'm lucky with compounding, but it's probably going to be closer to 50 to 70. Yeah, so I'm basing that 40K off of making roughly 5% per month. So that's a high estimate, and that would be 2K. So like I said, 2K is passable as a I guess a part-time or maybe a really low full-time income. So 40K would be the absolute lowest. So I'm very sure it would be 80K for a full-time income, which is that's getting up there, definitely. So whose money was that? Good Boys? I'm not sure what you're asking, Norbert. No, Good Boy wasn't. That wasn't Good Boy's money on the MAM account. All right, I'm gonna check YouTube, but I think I'm gonna end soon. I'm gonna end soon here. Wow, a lot of questions here on YouTube. I'm only going to pick some of these questions, guys, from YouTube since there's so many of them. I would be here all day if I was trying to answer them. Parrot, I do have EAs that have a cutoff of 50% or higher that don't lose at all. But putting an account at that risk doesn't make sense to me. You have to look at it. Okay, risking 80% of the account on $1,000 makes more sense. But risking 80% of the account on $100,000 is a totally different story. You wouldn't want to risk 80% of your account with $100,000 in. You wouldn't really want to risk more than 10% of a $100,000 account. That's exactly why I'm doing 7%, because that's a good number for investors. It's a good number for my account, my 9,700. I don't want to risk more than 7%. You have to have the high roller trader in mind as well, especially when your account grows. If you get better at trading, your account grows, the more money you have involved in it, the less risk you're going to want to take. I guarantee that's how you're going to feel. Oh, that's true. Aster. It's possible to trade well without a stop loss if your sense of overall market direction is extremely good. Alternatively, at the very least, big stop loss or disciplined mental stop loss can be used. I agree with that very much. But the disciplined mental stop loss, that is very difficult to do for most. See, Parrot, that's exactly the mentality why traders lose, is because they put math behind it, and a lot of times the math is flawed. That's been proven multiple times by traders, that just because a trader says this risk reward ratio is bad, like this guy is making 2% per month, and he's losing 7%, that's bad. That's bad risk reward. But if he's winning 11 months out of the 12 months of the year, then that is a totally flawed mentality. So you got to ask yourself that question: what is that person's win rate? How many trades are they winning? Because that law of math can be pushed out the window, or it's a lot deeper than what people are initially thinking. There's more to it. I've said before that it's much easier to get 10 pips than 11 pips. So the smaller the pip amount that you're getting, likely the higher the win rate that you're going to have. You just really have to find a way, in this case, to find a way to protect your losses. That's what happens when initial trade goes against me. I do what I can. Basket trading is what I do to help my trade from hitting, to help a bad trade. I don't say, I guess helping a trade become better. You could say turning a losing trade into a winner as well by basket trading. But we can't be right all the time. I have a pretty high win percentage. It's been going down a bit because I've been trading 16 pairs now instead of 8. So my win percentage is going down, and I expect it to go down to probably about 70% over the long term. It's at 72% right now, or just over. Okay, so here's a question for Laurer B. If this were Dragon's Den and there were a serious investor like Kuban, I'd have to say that this guy's strategy is too young and too risky to be worth putting my money into it. Just my opinion. How is it too risky when 70% of the account is being put at risk? How is that risky? I don't understand. Risky would mean that a trader is putting 50% of the account in drawdown, right? Isn't that what most of you guys are seeing? Is like a 20 to 30% drawdown with a lot of these traders on MyFX book, even SimpleTrader as well. That to me is more risky. It doesn't matter how much profit they're making over the long term. They're putting that much of their account at risk. 7% is much better than 20, 30, 40, 50%, even if that person's winning. It's just the big investors. I'd have to disagree with you. I think that if a trader sees that, or a trader with money sees that I'm risking only 7% of the account, they're going to like that. They're going to like that because that means that the cutoff is managed. It has a good risk profile on the account. I'm not putting up 10%, or 15, or 20. Yes, I'm making lower profits, but I'm having a higher win rate on my trades as well. So that should balance things out. I have 4 months history, and things are looking really good. Yes, you may be right in one aspect, and that is that the strategy is too young to really see what's happening here. 4 months, 3 months is typically the shortest period of time to see if a strategy is working. 6 months is the cutoff in my mind to see if it really is working. After 6 months, then usually you can say that this is a working strategy, and it should be working long term for the most part. You'll have to make adjustments because the market's always changing, but long term it should be fairly sound. Lower B, yes, 40. As I was saying, 40K was the lowest. And people keep getting caught on the 2% per month. I keep saying that if I don't have a losing month, if I don't have a losing 7% basket within that month, then I'm profiting 3 to 5%. And since that doesn't happen very often, it hasn't happened very often, then I should be bringing in 5%, 3 to 5% of that 40K that you're suggesting. 40K is the lowest on the lowest end, and that means that I had to make 5% per month in order to get a $2,000 income. But at 80,000, it needs to be. It would probably be a safer bet. You have to find your edge normal way using stop loss money management. I think you're referring to your standard book of rules, where your stop losses have to be smaller than your profit, your gains. Your win rate has to be 70% or higher, and you have to trade with the trend. The trend's your friend. Throw that all out the window. That's all. Some of it can be used, but most of it's garbage to me. Sorry for saying that, but I mean, I just don't find it very, very good advice, because honestly, I kept trying to make those rules work for so freaking long. For 10 years to be exact, I tried to make those rules in that rule set work. I could never get them to work in any way or form. And so that's when I started breaking the rules, and that's when my trading started turning around. And I beg of you guys, do the same. Open your minds a little bit. This is on forexsignals.com. These are YouTubers that I'm talking to at the moment. Lord B, this guy's stuff is just not well thought out. He gets his numbers all messed up, and I've seen enough. Good trading. All right, Laura B, that's fine. You can have your opinion on that. Every trader is allowed to have theirs. See, the person that just left, Laura B, for example, to me, a very closed-minded trader. A trader that's very that could be potentially very arrogant, thinking that they know best and that trading has to be done a certain way. if they have that mentality, to me, they are more likely a losing trader than a winning trader, because they don't understand the full broad spectrum, and they haven't tested or explored that. And so the chances of them profiting the market are, to me at least, are not high. Yeah, Vusi, you're exactly right. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the crosses, or the other pound pairs, to see what's going on with them as well. The 4-hour, we still have 30 minutes left before we know. The pound US dollar has moved up. That is not currently an inside bearish candle. Let's see the 4-hour on the yen. The 4-hour on the yen it's still considered, once this candle closes in 30 minutes or so, if it closes where it is, that would be a sell signal or short trade potential for me, which is good for my pound Australian dollar. Now this is also, it's still staying in this area. There's this resistance that's showing up in that area, up in here. So that's good. It's showing that it might slow down and reverse. At least people are questioning it. In a strong trend, you will lose with grid. You can lose with basket trading or grid in any market, strong or not. If you guys were trading this type of method, or this more of my system with the trend, you'd still have the same problems of losing when there is a complete trend reversal, which can happen. The thing with trends is that we don't know how long they're going to go for. We don't know when they're going to reverse. We have minimal hints in that when that's going to happen. We have support resistance to show us levels that the trend can reverse on, but honestly, we don't know if they're going to reverse entirely. We know that there's potential for a retracement at those levels. We don't know how big that retracement is going to be. Because we understand that these levels show some importance, that's why I look for a retracement in small 20 to 30 pip amounts in profit at these levels. That's why I don't look for a full trend reversal, because I'm shooting too high in that, if that's the case. Trend is your friend is the biggest myth. I can't agree more. A trend is a trend when it's finished. You're exactly right. That's my same mentality as well. We don't know that a trend's happening until it's done, most of the time. Why do you talk to the riff-raff on YouTube? That's a pretty good point, Bill Hubert. Why do I? I might just stop doing that, because there's a bunch of people that question this stuff. I don't understand why this group has their head better on straight. Like the group here in Forex Signals, I feel like you guys have more open mind. I don't know if it's because of Nick, how this site educates, but the banter that I get here compared to YouTube is so different. And I'm trying to figure out why. It may be because you guys have known me for the last 6 weeks since I've been doing these streams. And these guys on YouTube are coming in for the first time, and they see this guy is talking a bunch of random stuff about this and that, about basket trading, counter trend trading is so new to them. They're like, well, what the hell is that? Nobody counter trend trades. It's not profitable. So you're right. Maybe I should just throw that out the window and ignore YouTube altogether and the questions that are being asked there. I tried I try to help traders though. I want to try to help them. I want to lead them. My biggest mission is to open the trader's mind so they can start thinking in a new way, because that's what happened to me. I opened my mind to new possibilities, and that's when I started profiting. And I feel like that can be done for you guys as well with the right mindset. And so that's why I'm doing these streams. The intellect on YouTube appears limited. Yeah, I happen to agree with that in some way or form. I probably just lost all my YouTube viewers right now. Anything is 50-50. We have to determine what is happening. Yeah, hedge Bitcoin. Anything is 50-50. That's true, and we need to figure out what our edge is so we can maybe break that 50-50 chance. If we can have like a 60-50, you know, so we have an edge in the market. That's what we try to search for. Euro USD has been so freaking flat. It's, like I said, it's climbing over the last time I mentioned to you guys. Where the Harami candle here that would push down, it's happening. I knew that this was going to push the Euro US dollar up, which is annoying. But that's what's happening. It's not a lot. It's not a big push, so it's not too worrisome. But it just means that I'm going to be in this trade longer. Hedge Bitcoin, yes, summer is normally slow, but Brexit changed that. I agree. This has been a really weird year. This has been a really strange year so far. A lot of you guys know that the volume of the market has been somewhat low. For some of the traders that have been trading for quite a long time, they'll notice that the volume has been strange. It's been either really high volatility or really flat, and that's so different than the past years. Even 2015 was so much different. I feel like the market this year is very, very difficult to read, and that's why a lot of institutions, from what I read, have opted out of holding positions for long term. That is becoming less of a thing right now until the market decides it's going to calm down a bit and become more, I guess, normal, if you will. So, yeah, the institutions are cutting their positions shorter. Some of them are not even trading the forex; they're expanding into different investment areas because the forex market is so all over the place right now. When it comes to volatility, when it comes to direction, trends are getting chopped out. Like for example, the euro pound. I've run EAs on that pair for the last 22 years in testing, and it's a very ranging pair. It's one of the highest ranging pairs, and I made that EA that I mentioned to you guys before, and that pair doesn't trend that often. When it trends, it can trend, but it also trends in big swoops as well, so, also in smaller. And during the Brexit mess, right before, months leading up to it, so the beginning of the year, the pound was taking such a hit because of the pressures from Brexit, the potential of Brexit happening, and of the vote calling for them for the UK to leave, and so that was putting a lot of pressure, causing the euro pound to trend heavily, and that caused everything to change on that pair. Everything that happened in the past on that pair, all the past history, was just thrown out the window. So that is a clear indication that nothing is sure in the forex market, and the markets are constantly changing and adapting. Ryan, it's because we educate each other over 24/7 over here. I believe that's right. You guys are always doing that. I mean, I don't want this place to turn into Forex Factory. I don't like Forex Factory. There's a lot of trolls. There's too many trolls over there. I don't want to see the trolls over here. This group is good. This group likes to, do things differently. And the community's nice. I feel like traders try to understand each other. There's not a lot of bad talk. Everybody's open to new ideas, and I think you should be. You should be open to new ideas that somebody's approaching if things are going well for them, if they're profiting, 3 to 4 months or more, using some different kind of strategy that's not typical. Then I feel like they're owed not to be, harassed or anything like that. Just because their money management is different, just because they're a counter trend trader or whatever, they should be allowed to a place in this world. And a lot of times a safe place is not Forex Factory. Apparently it's not necessarily on YouTube either, because people can be rude, not just to me, but also to other people that are typing in the room as well. So yeah, it's the chat on YouTube it gets fairly interesting. Funnily enough, revision to the mean is most popular approach for retail traders. 60-minute man. Why is that? Why is that why you think if you look at it, most of the best traders, or a lot of the best traders, find their edge in this revision to mean, or a basket trading, or grid trading, whatever you call it. There's so many different titles or names for it. The reason why we use it is because it helps us when we have a bad trade. It helps us to survive longer, or to turn that trade around, to get out at break even or a small profit. And there is a reason why a lot of the good traders that have a built-up history, why they do that. It's because it works. It works for them, and it definitely beats out all the risk-reward rules. And the stop loss, all that kind of stuff is in a lot of terms is thrown out the window for that revision to the mean idea in trading. And it's not to try to profit more. I know that Gold Star uses multiple trade entries at support resistance or whatever it is with his gold with the gold trading, but he takes more pips or more profit on his trades than I do, on his reversals. He's a gold expert, and he's very good at what he does. How do I hold my trades? I basket trade, and I've said it before. And I'm sorry for those guys that have listened to it already many times. But yeah, I close out at 7% loss, and I profit 3 to 5% during the month. So yeah, that's how long I hold my trades for, and they average for about 15 hours. Is what the average is for my trading in the last 4 months. I hope that people do find the website. What Nick is doing here is these streams are very helpful for people. Anywhere from Jay and Tony D, to help people understand the news. Tony D is a good news person to have on the website. So he puts a lot of focus on the news, so people should watch that and understand what news affects the market. News is important to understand. And then you have Jay, which he works strictly on technical analysis, and he's also very good at reading the markets and where they're going on the technical side, looking for the big moves, the big swings, which a lot of people like to see. And he's big on trend lines and levels as well, support resistance, and so that's a great way to learn as well. So I think that each of the streamers, and Josh as well, very good at talking through the market, what's happening, a mix of news and technicals as well. And his approach is heavily on on Fibonacci's, which can be profitable for traders. And he's a good person to have. So I like what Nick has done here in the education world. I feel like there are good things to learn here, and much better. It's more streamlined than say Forex Factory as well. So I like this website. That's how I found it originally. I wanted to trade for this website. I wanted to be involved in some way. So that's why I reached out to it back a few months ago. I know Josh trades the high time frame, FX bullish. Anyone trade high time frames, daily, weekly stuff? I know that Josh trades almost exclusively on Josh Analyst trades almost exclusively on the daily charts using Fibonacci's. Great. Good to hear that a big birdie. It's a little difficult to follow my streams and what I'm doing and my trade ideas because you guys don't see the full outcome. A lot of times you'll see like the first 1, 2, 3 trades that I take, and so it's really difficult to follow. So I'm glad that you're able to manage to work this out in your own trading. Trying to learn more about these Harami candlesticks. You guys really need to know your candlesticks because that's where a lot of the technical side comes from on reading price action. Don't ignore them. They can say so much. They can say so much on what's happening. There's a reason why candlesticks are so popular because the price follows them very well most of the time. You know, the fundamentals is what overall runs and pushes the direction of the market, but the candlesticks help us get little hints on what's happening. I love this quote from you, Plasma. Everyone is making profit on a Forex Factory. No losers there. That is amazing. Everybody's that's an understatement. It can't be more opposite. Everybody loses on Forex Factory, pretty much. And there are so many trolls there and people that just harass. I've had quite a few threads that were started there. I've been on Forex Factory, I think, since 2010, and I've had quite a few threads posted there. And some good traders. I've met some one of my mentors there, Trader 34 at Forex Factory. He's a really good guy, really good trader, really good insight in the market. And so I can't say everything bad about Forex Factory because I have had some positive influence from there. Yes, Tommy Lee, I have written EA for my scalping. Like I said, I can't use it. I can only use it on a 401 account. It's something that I could maybe talk about doing on the high risk MAM, but the Euro US dollar is not great for scalping right now. This is my scalping technique, and I can show you guys, but I'm not going to send you any indicators. But I can show you really quickly what it's all about. This is another kind of mean to revision type of technique here, which is like basically oversold, overbought. So we return to the mean. Basically, this is the middle level here. Let me get my marker out. So this is the middle of the channel, and this is the top. This is the bottom. Now this is a 1-minute trading strategy. When the market reaches the top, that's when you sell. When it reaches the green, that's when you buy, looking for a retracement. Now, the thing is that this is a repainting indicator. This indicator that is the channel. It's a repainting, so it will change based on what the market has done previously. So it looks like the best indicator in the world. But it's like, oh, buy there, sell here. You know, it repaints the past, so you can't look at it like that. But it does. It will push before it does repaint. It will hit these levels. And then you start selling, and then you sell in a grid after that, martingale style. Now the thing about this indicator is really cool. is that when it hits these levels, it does usually bounce from them. And I want there to be a decent distance from the bottom to the top and the top to the bottom. And usually that distance is about 6. I want it to be at least 5 pips apart. So it's not volatile. The market's not volatile enough right now to trade, to scalp. And so I wait for there to be enough distance between the middle and the bottom, or the middle and the top. It also can't be too wide. If it's more than 13 pips, I won't trade. And I look for I will martingale every 6 pips down if it goes against me. So let's say I enter here, or enter a sell here when the market hits the top. Then I will enter on a 6 pip grid after that. So 6 pips, 6 pips. I don't know if that's even 6 pips. Let's see. That's 4. 6 pips, and then another 6 pips after that. And we'll keep doing that until the market retraces roughly 5 pips. When it retraces 5 pips, because of it's a martingale strategy, that means I come out with about $5 if I'm risking 0.1. And I will come out with profit on the trade. Now, this is a type of this kind of scalping has to be done not during the news. It can't be done right before the news. It can be done technically right after, but it has to be the right market. I look at the ADR, which is the average daily movement that's happened, and I want the Euro US dollar to move in its ADR for that day. And then I will potentially start taking some trades, because if it's moved enough during that course of the day, then I know that there potentially won't be really heavy drives in one direction or the other. So I want there to be a ranging market, and I want it to be fairly volatile and not fairly volatile, but not too volatile. So it's very conditional. It's a very conditional scalping method. And that's just the start of the details. I know you guys are going to have a lot of questions in regards to it. This method or this trading strategy has made me roughly 100 to 120% over the last 15 months. I stopped trading it back about 6 months ago when I changed brokers from Forex Broker Inc. to a regulated broker in the U.S. Currently at Oanda. So this method is great for brokers with high leverage, but there's always risk involved. No matter how you trade it or what risk level you trade, your account will be at high risk the entire time, but there will be potential for high profit. So I might get more into this later. We may talk about this. I might talk about this more with Nick if we want to trade this at some point. The strategy is very much like Good Boy, except it's martingale, and you're in and out of trades very quickly. So this would be a lot more exciting for you guys to watch, because you're in and out very fast, and you'll see instant profits. Most trades are in and out in about 15 to 20 minutes. All right, so I'm expecting a flooding of questions coming in about this. So the EA, I forgot to mention, that was the whole question to begin with. The EA takes the trades. It takes the trades on the grid. It does the martingale. It enters trades 1 pip above the sell trades 1 pip above the red line, and buy trades 1 pip below. It does everything for me as much as it can. It has to be monitored. It doesn't take news into consideration, and sometimes I want to expand my grid. I don't want to have it at exactly 6 pips all the time, depending on market volatility. So there's a lot of discretion involved in this type of scalping, but I've done very well with it. The EA helps me out. It's more of a management EA. It's not an EA that does everything for you. It has to be monitored. Plasma, yeah, I believe that subscribers did lose money from Tony's account last year, unfortunately. And there was a video showing the explanation of what happened. Is there anyone that trades without support resistance? Not having a go, just posing interest in questions before I get flamed. You won't get flamed, 60-minute man. there's a lot of people that don't use support resistance. For example, this scalping strategy that I just showed you, I'm not using support resistance. That's on a 1 minute chart. 1 minute chart. I can't possibly use support resistance on that time frame using this, and I use that time frame only. I don't jump to other time frames using that method. And I'm sure that there's other people that have their methods that don't use support resistance. Yeah, hedge Bitcoin martingale. That's exactly right. This is scalping. This is a higher risk trading strategy. It requires martingale in order to work, and there's no way to go about it. It's always going to put your account at high risk, even if it starts at the minimum lot size, which is 0.01. There's still going to be a potential for high risk if things go against you, even at the minimum levels. All right, YouTube. I haven't come to you guys. I know. Yeah, there's more posers coming on YouTube. So I won't answer you for Alige. You should have a name that I can read because I will just call you Far. So I don't code for my EAs for people. I just code for I have a coder do that for me. What's the point of saying that this guy doesn't know something or that guy doesn't know something? I don't understand the point, because isn't everybody entitled to their own opinion? Nathan, I'm 3 months into my strategy, high risk counter trend. I just hit 98% gain yesterday. So after 6 months, you think I could expect it to work long term? I've been working on it for about 1.5 years. There's very high potential, and depending on how things continue to go. If you're profitable after 6 months, I think your chances are very good. I think your gain's a little bit too high. 98% in 3 months is pretty high, which means that your risk could be pretty high up there. Which means if you're wrong on taking your positions or your stop loss, depending on your stop loss, I don't know your strategy, but when I see 98%, I think that's maybe a bit too high of a risk, and anything that's making that kind of profit in 3 months shows potential for a crash. But if you're still profitable after 6 months, chances are decent that you'll still be have a better idea if this is going to be working long term for you. And if you do happen to have a crash in the next 3 months, then try lower risk. It might allow you to last longer. Sure, yeah, I'll send you my fix book. I sent it a little earlier, so I'll send it now. You can look at my counter trend. I guess you can call it counter trend scalping as well, which sounds like very similar to what you're doing. Because I did 90. How much did I do on that account? I did 93% in about the same amount of time. I think it was about 4 months. And that was pretty much counter trend scalping. Oh, whoops, wrong account. I did 70% in 4 months. I think that's what it was. September 4th. Yeah, it was about 70% in 4 months. So yeah, your numbers are a little bit better than mine, but it shows that it can work. If you know that if you're risking 100% of your account, like you don't have like a well thought out stop loss plan, then I suggest you try to work that out, because eventually, even using that what I just showed you, these stats. Sorry, hold on. I'm not even looking at the right account that you can see the right page. Hold on a second. So what I'm talking about is this account here. So this is the account that I'm talking about. Low risk, 12% drawdown, 12.89, 70% profit over 4 months, and I ended up withdrawing from that account all the profits. So it shows that this can work, but I knew that I was still putting 100% of my account at risk if a trade went against me, even though that I only had 12% drawdown. So don't let that be misleading. You have to know what you're risking, and if your whole account is at risk, but you have had a good 3 months, it doesn't mean that you're protected from having total loss. Okay. Coming back to forexsignals.com, see what's going on here, and then I think I'm going to end. Nathan G, are you? Oh, okay, there's your account. Let me just have a quick look. Sorry if it's okay if I put this on the screen. Looks great. Your monthly's high. Your risk, your drawdown, it was similar to mine, just barely a couple % more. It looks good. Our profit was big. This has been big this month and lower last month. Your open trades are private, probably because you want to protect your strategy from people understanding what you're doing. But that, I mean, since I can see your I can't see if you have a stop loss or not on your positions. In 19 hours. I see. Okay, so this isn't. So you're not. So on some of your trades, it looks like you wait to see what the outcome is. So some of our trades are in pretty fast, and you hold, but your win rate looks extremely good. So it looks like you look for most of the time 1 to 5 pips. So far, yeah, I think that you should keep doing what you're doing. Is this the live account? Oh, it's a demo. And if you're putting the whole account at risk, then you 98% over 3 months of time is really high. You should be aware of that. That you should be happy with 20% or even less during that period. So you have a lot of room to mess with there by lowering your risk. But right now, your positive trades look great. You're at 95% win rate, and I hope that you can keep up these stats. But they are really quite good. So yeah, best of luck there. But impressive. It looks impressive so far. Okay, so. I have no capital to start a real account. I hear you, man. That's isn't that always how it works? Is that you blow your money in one of your previous strategies, and then you find a good one that lasts a while. And at that point you don't have any money to use. Yeah, I've had that happen before. It sucks. Hold on a second, guys. Okay. Yes, Oanda's FIFO. Yes, it does have the FIFO rule. All right, guys. Not a lot of action still going on. I'm gonna just check to see. We will have a trade. You guys can enter this. This is a decent trade on the pound Japanese yen. To me, it's already starting to move in the positive direction. We had a positive. We have a positive. We have a Harami candle after a push up, break of that support level. Low here. It's like over 300 pips from the bottom to the top. 300 times. 300 plus pips. And there is also a trade on the pound US dollar on the 4 hour. So yeah, I think that my trade on the pound Aussie is also going to be looking good. Yeah, this trade will probably hit profit. I would get, my guess is maybe by the end of the day. I wish my outlook on the Euro US dollar was as positive. I think that this move down on the yen is going to be limited to these levels. So the move down doesn't have a whole lot more to go before it hits a support level. So that means that we could see some support up somewhere in here on the Euro US dollar. Now, what's happening here is we're getting a slow bleed up on the Euro US dollar. It's ranging, but it's ranging in an upward motion. So it's likely to continue doing that for the rest of the day. But today is not the last. It's not the last trading day, obviously, since we have another day, Friday. So hopefully I can get some push down. We're not that much in the negative. It's just the volatility is really low, so it's 28 pips in the negative. Let me check for real fast for any other positions. The odd CAD is a very good trade for those of you. Oh, speaking of a good trade, I can get in on this. Yes, I am going to take this position. So I'm looking at this this Harami candle here. I also am aware that there's no. Oh, there is some odd CAD news tomorrow. I will not be taking this trade. That is right. It's a CPI data. I'm still tempted to take it anyways. The CPI data, it could affect. It's not expected. They're not expecting it to be a huge difference. Retail sales is coming out as well. It's probably best for me to not take that position. Let's see if there's anything else though. NZD US dollar. That is technically a sloppy trade here with the entry Harami candle. There is this highs in this, especially this support level, resistance level here, which mean that this could fall from that point. It didn't make a new high like I do. It's like that's why I call it a sloppy signal. US dollar CAD. When does that news come out anyway? It's just not enough. I really want this. It looks really good, guys. This trade looks really good, and that's why I'm so tempted to take it. I saw this level is broken just barely. There's a Harami candle. It's a big push down. It just looks really good in my eyes. But that I don't want to get stuck in this trade with that data tomorrow. I mean, it's not just the CPI data, which if it was just the CPI data, I think I would probably do it, but it's also retail sales. The CPI data is expected not to really change very much, which means that doesn't mean that we can't count out a drastic change, but it means that if it could be not a very big mover. The retail sales is expected to increase. So I don't know what's exactly going to happen there either. I'm in 2 trades now, so I'm probably just going to call it. It's looking like this is already starting to move in a positive direction. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks missing out on some trades, but you know, it's better to be cautious than risky. So. if I got some other hints on some of the other pairs, it might have been better for me to take. For example, the US dollar CAD is still pushing down. No indication yet that that's going to bounce. The this is going up, which is good. Means that the trade that I was just looking at, the odd CAD, would potentially go up as well. Oh, this needs to go down. Excuse me. The CAD would Japanese yen would need to go down, and the odd CAD would go up. The Euro CAD showing this candle currently is showing some maybe a push up there, but there's no really good indication in there that's showing me that there is a correlation happening. So it looks like that we have no other trade options at this point. The trade that I pointed out to you right now is at 3 pips profit. This to me is a potential quick mover. I'd look for 20 pips. So I'm going to mark that now, and we'll see how that pans out for the session tomorrow, for the stream tomorrow. It's about 20 pips. Okay. Still in. So we have trades on all the pound pairs. Sell. Short trades on all the pound pairs. I'm already in on the pound odd, and I'm going to leave that in. And we have the trade on the odd CAD, which I was considering taking, but the news coming out in the CAD, and I'm already in on the pound odd as well. So probably good to stay out of this one entirely, since I'm already in on 2 trades. I've been on too long. I'm catching new users coming in that haven't been watching the stream since the beginning. Slippage, I explained it a little bit earlier. That's just how my trading strategy works. Keep watching my streams, my previous streams, and I'll be posting the stream earlier today that I've done today in the previous stream section. So check out the earlier part of the stream. You'll see what my strategy consists of, so you can get a better idea of what I'm doing. What resources did I use to do my trading, to learn my trading? Forex Factory, unfortunately, even though I don't want to recommend it that much. I read a couple books. I can't even remember the names of them. I would look at Baby Pips sometimes, some of the other Forex websites. But most of the good information I learned from trading was actually from myself, really. The time where I saw all the things that were saying and realized that it was just losing strategies that I was learning from Forex Factory and other places. That I understood that I needed to start building my own systems and creating my own ideas, so I could have a better understanding of how things worked in the market and how to better to give myself a better chance of having an edge in the market. And I knew that's what I needed to do. So, like I said, most of the best information I learned was from, I guess, from creating systems and experimenting myself, and then also Trader 34. Again, I've mentioned him so many times on this forexfactory.com. Very good guy, lots of knowledge. Helped me kind of refine what I was the mindset I was already thinking in. Thanks, Hedge Bitcoin, for explaining the basket. All right, guys. I think that's gonna be my stream for today. I've been going so long again, and I really need to not do that. But at the moment, don't have a ton going on today. I'll probably keep my stream shorter tomorrow. Usually, when I do a long stream, I'll follow it up with like a 30-minute on Friday. which is probably what I'll do since I think I'm leaving at 10 a.m. So I will do the stream right before I leave. I might even start a little earlier. There's potential I might start at 9 a.m. tomorrow for those of you watching. So keep an eye on that. So hopefully I'll see you on there anyways. So Josh is live right now, so I'm going to get off while he's setting up. So I hope you guys have a good rest of the day, and good luck, and make some